Hey everyone, Dave here from Blue Bears Games, bringing you another episode of $20 Budget Decks. Today's deck will be featuring my most popular by far deck at every con I go to. It's so popular that I have to make two different versions for every con, and they're usually the first deck that sells out immediately as soon as the cons start. Of course, today we're talking about the Infinite Mana Myr deck. Every player aspires to get infinite something, whether it be creatures, whether it be life. This one just happens to do mana, and this one does it rather simply. This deck actually spawned from a very good friend of mine. Him and I put this together, God, I don't even know, 10 years ago. And ever since, I've been making them for other people because it's a nice little budget deck that gets people a little happy because it's infinite mana. So let's go ahead and dive in. Alright, so the premise is Myr. It's pretty simple. All Myr, the basic Myr anyway, provide mana in some way, shape, or form. There is one for each color. So this deck is a black-white deck, so we went with a playset of each of the black and the white ones. So you got lead Myr and then gold Myr. That's just to help, speed up the deck a little. So the combo is Myr Galvanizer. You kind of need to get both. I have two in here. You have to have two out. While being a buffer for your Myr, they have the ability to untap each other Myr that you control. The point of this is to have two of these out. And then the other card in the combo that helps it is Palladium Myr, which adds two colorless to your mana pool. The point of it would be to have both out so they can untap each other with something that provides mana more than one, so that you can create infinite mana. And then you turn it into a huge, depending on the color, a fireball of some sort. And this deck has a different version of a fireball, and I'll show you that in a little bit. So that's the combo right here. Two galvanizers and any ability to make more than one mana from each of your Myr. Palladium Myr is the easiest way to do so. I have other ways of defending yourself. Obviously, you saw the Galvanizer buffs all your Myr. So at least they can survive, or possibly, if everything's going south and you need a backup plan, you basically have an aggro deck. They're 2-cast 1/1s that, with two Galvanizers out, they're 3/3s, so it's not that bad. Perilous Myr is just good, value for it. It's 2-cast 1/1, but it's got the ability that when it dies or goes to the grave, it deals 2 damage. And I've got a playset of them in there because people don't really like to block them, and they don't like to attack into them because their stuff dies. So that's good for defense. That's good for another combo that I will show you in a little bit. The Myr Retriever. Alright, so Myr Retriever is good value too. When it dies, you can return another artifact from your graveyard to your hand. The other combo, now, since this is budget decks and I can't really put more than $20 worth of value in the decks, the other version of this combo that you can do if you want to go ahead and upgrade the deck will be throw an Ashnod's Altar or two in there. Unfortunately, they're like $6 a piece at the moment. The point of it is to get 2 Myr Retrievers with an Ashnod's Altar, and you can infinitely loop them, infinitely cast them. The other part of that combo is Disciple of the Vault. So the point of it would be if you had an Ashnod's Altar out and you had 2 Myr Retrievers, you could sacrifice the Myr Retriever for 2 mana, cast another one, sacrifice it for 2 mana, bring it back, another Myr Retriever, cast it, and it infinitely loops. With Disciple of the Vault out, it does 1 damage every time an artifact goes to your graveyard. So there's another combo there. Unfortunately, this deck does not have that at the moment. It's just too expensive monetarily. So there's that. Myr Enforcer, more value. Affinity for artifacts. Affinity was really, really good back in the day. Still good now. You could essentially get this out as a 1 or 2 to cast 4/4. It's just to help defend yourself, and possibly with the Myr Galvanizers out, they could be 6/6s. So there's that. The portion of this deck that is for defense, it's the normal suite of creature kill, so some terrors, some devour fleshes, just to get some creature destruction in there. All right, so for black, their way of drawing cards is through effects like Read the Bones, where it's draw cards, lose life. White doesn't really have an effective way of drawing cards, so I got a couple of Read the Bones in here just so that you can get through your deck faster. Diabolic Tutor. One of the great things about black is it can search for its pieces. So if you're missing a piece, a couple of Diabolic Tutors, you're good to go. One of the interesting things that I actually added, this is the first time I've added these, and I think that they work very well. I added Board the Weatherlight in. Look at the top 5 cards of your library, reveal a historic card. For the most part, we're using it for the artifact historic, and put it into your hand. I put 2 of those in there because that's helping you, again, dig deeper for combo pieces in case you need them. Now for the kill card. Every color has some sort of fireball. Blue can draw cards, red has literal fireball. Black has 2 different versions. One of them is a white and black version. Death to the Deathless. Probably one of the better ones in the game. Remember, you're making infinite mana here, so the casting cost really shouldn't matter at all. This one's more effective than most because, it's each opponent. So in a multiplayer game setting, they all lose 2 times X life, and you gain that much life. It's pretty nasty. It's one of the better ones in my opinion, and I always put these in the black-white version of my infinite mana decks. The second version of the fireball is Exsanguinate. It's the same thing as Death to the Deathless, only it's only black and it's not twice as much damage. So, at least there's 4 ways of you killing your opponent with the infinite mana. Alright, so the rares that I chose for this deck. First one was from Dominaria. It's Tashar. More along the lines of just value, recursion, stuff like that. Every time you cast a historic spell, it adds to it. It just adds value to the deck because you're going to cast so many historic spells. In this case, they're all artifacts that you get value out of this card no matter what you do. You could also technically decombo with Myr Retriever. That can also go off with this. This is another way of doing it, since you can grab it back as well. The other next rare was Myr Turbine. This one was more along the lines of it was an available card. It's a great value for Myr. Put a free one out. You're doing, if you have parts of the combo or you have multiple Myr out, you're gonna ramp into this easily anyway. So putting more Myr out with Galvanizers out just creates a free army for you. The main reason for the card was the search your library for a Myr. That way you can find the missing pieces that you need in case you're missing a second Galvanizer or another Palladium Myr, so you could do the infinite mana. So that's what that's for. The Battlesphere. If you have to, for some reason, abandon the infinite mana route, and you need to go the rush your opponent with creatures, the Battlesphere, pound for pound, is one of the better versions of a card for this deck anyway. Because it does 2 things. It attacks in, but you can also have it just deal damage to the defending the player anyway. So I went with the Battlesphere because it's just kind of fun, and it does the work it needs to do. The special card, the 4th card, the rare / foil rare / mythic I chose was In Garrick's Wake. I chose that card for a couple reasons. One, I have a ton of them for foil, so it goes great in any deck that uses black. But it's infinite mana deck. You're not going to have a problem casting this. 9 mana is a lot, but if you've got enough mana Myr out, 9's not that bad, and it literally wipes your entire opponent's side of the board. So I went with that for the special card that goes in the deck. Alright, now onto the land. We know why I chose Evolving Wilds. It's the same reason for the fetch lands. It's just what it is. a playset of Orzhov Guildgates, because this is the first one I've shown you guys that's actually 2-color. Every 2-color deck I have will have a playset of a dual land of some sort. Not a good dual land, but a passable dual land. Usually they're going to be gates or of that ilk. And then the basic lands. So, that is the most popular deck that I usually sell at my conventions. It's the Infinite Mana Myr deck. And it'll be at Geek Fest this year and every year, because I make them for every con. If you guys have any questions or any comments, go ahead and put them below. Don't forget to like the video if you like it. If you have any, anything negative, just give me a shout out. Don't forget to, or don't feel, the need to just blast me. Just go ahead and put the comments or send me a message. Don't forget to like the video if you like it. Subscribe to my channel. There will be more to come. And I'll see you next episode. Thanks, everyone.